All right, so Max and I, say hello to Max, are at the lab testing ground today, and we're doing this trial on this age-old thing that people have tried to improve upon. I watched a few videos and just really didn't get the answers that I was hoping for. So yesterday I tried this. This is the original tube that I had in. It's a 3/4 tube. I had it in the top of this VP can tank, can lid, sorry, and I poured 5 gallons. And I know I took that video, but unfortunately I had the camera standing up, and it's a different format, and maybe I can add that later. I'm not sure, but I'll try to, so you can watch it if you want. But nonetheless, it took, I think, 56 seconds to drain 5 gallons. Definitely not happy with that, right? So, but I'm just so tired of the junk shakers that I've got. I got 6 of them, and those things are stupid expensive. And right now you're going, well, I mean, if you do this route, you got to buy all this stuff. You have to buy all this stuff anyway, even if you have the junk shakers. Let's call them leak shakers, because they split on the seams, or at least they did with the ones that I've got. All 4 of them, 4 of the 6 that I have leak. The other 2 don't. But it's just unacceptable. And in order to try to ship them back for them to honor their warranty, by the time you pay for the shipping and stuff like that, you can just buy new ones. So it just doesn't make sense. The lifetime warranty is garbage unless you live next door to where they are. So I thought, man, these VP cans, everyone's got them. You can pick them up cheap at yard sales and stuff like that. So how can we make these things work using essentially the same? This was the same stuff that was on my Hunshakers already. And so basically what I did was I bought this 1.5 inch adapter that adapts down to 1.25. And then inside of here, I have a 1.25 inch adapter, and then a piece of 1.25 inch pipe slid into that. So that way I have the largest possible flow. And I might even get in there with a Dremel. Nah, that's pretty good. But anyway, so what I did yesterday, though, is what you can't really see, and I'll have to post a picture of it, is on this little vent here, I took a small gas line, or maybe it's a vacuum line. I drilled this hole just a little bit bigger and slid that thing all the way down to the very, very bottom, so that way when you tip this thing up, it's getting air to the bottom. And so when I did my test yesterday with this size hose, it took, like I said, 56 seconds, even with that in there. Now, but I didn't get any gurgling. It literally just poured straight out of this thing. It's a nice, good pour, but this thing was just too restrictive, 3/4 inch, too restrictive. So I was like, I got to do something better. So I took this hole saw and I drilled this thing out. Now, this thing obviously is too small for this hole here, right? So as you can see, that was the part that we screw the 3/4 into. But the beauty was that this thing was almost matching. So I literally just stuck this thing right down on top here and did this, which naturally there's some black stuff, black plastic down in here that I need to clean out. But there's there's water in here at the moment, whereas I need to let it air dry out in the sun so I can get all the water out of it anyway. But before I do that, I need to get all the little extra plastic pieces up. So anyway, sorry. So that's what I did. And so this thing was so tight. I'm assuming this is probably like 1.25 or maybe 1.5, but it was so tight that I struggled to get this down in there. I actually had to screw this thing on here and then push with all my might with both hands to get this thing to turn and go in there. And then what I did was I took one of these little nuts here, these metal nuts from the electrical aisle at Lowe's, and I screwed that on there to where I don't have to worry about this thing pulling out. I don't think it would anyway, but just to be on the safe side. So nonetheless, so you got this thing is, I think, $150. You got the 1.5 inch adapter that's exactly like this adapter. I just literally cut this part off and just slid just this part in so that this piece could slide in. So that's what I've got here. I've got this thing and just a piece of pipe so that this hose can go right onto the pipe. Then this same thing. Now this, I made sure that these hoses were the same length, but naturally you've got a little bit longer here because of these other parts. But I think it's pretty, fair comparison. So anyway, I'm gonna do this test. Now I've already done it, but unfortunately, I'm a big dummy when it comes to recording stuff, so I turned the camera around this time so I can make sure that I can see what's going on. But what you can't really see right now is this is at 5 gallons. I promise you. Let's see here. I don't know if you can see the water kind of sloshing around there, but it's at 5 gallons. I don't want to mess with the camera because I don't want to screw it up like I did last time. So, and I've got this screwed on, but I don't like this thing turned this way. I guess maybe I could just let something sit on it and maybe make it do like that so that it'll go into the car. But I never use these. Okay, this is just on here to plug it. And the reason why I did this the way it is, as far as the vent goes, is now I can still put this back on when I want to make sure I keep water out and stuff like that, and then take it off when I'm ready to dump fuel. But here we go. I mean, I've looked all over YouTube and didn't find anybody that had great success. Now, people said that they had their cans dumping at like 31, 32 seconds, something like that, which is pretty good. But I mean, when we're trying to dump like 12, maybe 13 gallons into the winning NC Average Joe's Kick Butt Miata, we want to dump it as quick as possible. So that way, we can get on to cleaning the windshield and doing the other stuff. And with Lucky Dog, you can't have a driver, Lucky Dog and Lemons, you can't have a driver in the car while you're doing fueling. So you want to do the fueling as fast as possible, but you got a minimum 5-minute stop, or at least with Lucky Dog you do. I don't know about Lemons. So you want to get the fueling done as quick as possible, so that way you can get your other driver in and all that stuff. So very, very important to quickly dump fuel, but do it safely without your jugs leaking and stuff like that. So here we go. This is how I'm going to do it today, and then I may even try to make this hole bigger for this vent to put even a larger tube in there, but you've got to be careful because it kind of necks down here. So if you make this hole too much bigger, it's going to really make it thin down there. So when you go to screw this on or off, you may end up breaking this off. So at the moment, it does not leak. All right, so here we go. Good stuff. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Call it 24 seconds. Holy crap. And the thing is, this is going to be safe. I mean, the fact that it restricts it down to 24, 25 seconds is probably a good thing, because the NC will only take fuel so fast. Whereas with the Hunsagers, the junk Sagers, the leak Sagers, it would dump too fast. So you had to kind of throttle it back because otherwise it would come back up at you. So this, with our current filling tube that goes to the tank, will absolutely do it at that pace and not have to worry about it splashing back or whatever at us. So I'm really excited about this. I really don't need to go any faster than this because the NC will only take it that fast anyway. So anyway, 23, 24 seconds. I mean, pretty phenomenal for like very cheap parts. And you can get these VP cans at yard sales for $5-6 and do this whole thing for a total of $10 with the rest of this. Actually, well, this hose, you can get it on Amazon way cheaper than at Lowe's, but the rest of the stuff I actually got at Lowe's just because it's cheap at Lowe's. So anyway, drop your comments and let me know what you think. I'm pretty freaking ecstatic about it because like I said, I've got 6 Hunsagers, 4 of them leak, so now I've got an alternative to use for my third jug, so I can actually just put 3 gallons in this. But honestly, I'm going to try to find some more of these because this is pretty freaking awesome and this is super cheap. And what's nice about it too is the handle. I mean, the Hunsagers have like that long thing, but it's not really comfortable to hold. So this thing, you can literally pick it up and just dump it, just by that handle. So give me your comments. I'm curious to see what you think.